Hey guys, how's it going? It's Russ Ruffino with Clients on Demand Show, and today we're going to be talking about how to get rich solving other people's problems. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It is Russ, and today I'm joined by the amazing, the brilliant, the genius, Miss Jane Jewell, who is our managing director here at Clients on Demand and one of the top mindset and performance coaches in the world. So you're in good hands today. And today we're going to be talking about how to get rich solving other people's problems. Guys, look, in the 21st century, I believe this is the biggest opportunity out there, period, end of story. You got a lot of people who are investing in, cryptocurrency. You got a lot of people investing in Bitcoin. Everyone's all over these NFTs. So there's a lot of little opportunities out there that are kind of little bubbles that you can jump on and invest in and all that stuff. And that seems to be what everyone's talking about. But the real opportunity is, how do you build a multi-million-dollar business from scratch? And the best way to do that is to solve other people's problems. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. JJ, what's going on?
Hey there. Good to be here with you today.
Today is Jane's son's birthday. So happy birthday, Aiden.
Yes, you guys, 17. 17. I have a teenager, like almost an adult. I have a man-child.
Yeah, he's gonna be going off to college soon. I mean, it's like a big milestone. My kids are like 5 and 4 and 2 and a newborn. So I got a ways to go before I get there, but yeah.
Yeah, totally off topic. But this morning I was going through pictures, my camera roll, and going back to when he was 2 and 4 and 6. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing.
That's awesome. All right, guys. So let's talk about how to actually do this. So when we say get rich solving other people's problems, what we're talking about is coaching. That's really what we're talking about. Now, look, any business out there, if it's a smart business, will be designed to solve someone's problem. Any business is designed to do that. Even the donut store on the corner in your neighborhood is designed to solve the problem of, hey, I need donuts. So in any business, whatever business you're in, you always want to stay relentlessly focused on what is that problem that your business is designed to solve. It's really important that you start there. I see a lot of online entrepreneurs who create businesses as a way to fuel their ego, or a way to say, well, this is something I love talking about, so I'm going to make a business where I just talk about this. Or I want to share my ideas with the public, I discovered this thing. I just want to tell the world. I want to share the world. I want to get my message out there. And what you have to understand is that nobody cares about any of that stuff. What people care about is the problems that they're struggling with. So what you have to do is take your message and take your expertise and connect that to a big, big problem that people have. Then you have a business. If you just have something that you want to say, or something that you're passionate about, that's not a business. That's not a foundation for a business. And I see people trying to build businesses on top of just their passion, and you hear this a lot. You hear people say, hey, follow your passion, follow your dreams, follow your joy, follow your bliss. And all of that is true to a certain degree, but there's got to be something in it for the customer. Otherwise, why are they going to give you money? No one's going to pay you just to hear you rant and rave about stuff. You got to actually solve a problem that they're struggling with. So that should be the real foundation for building any business. And today we're going to talk about exactly how to do that.
I love that so much. You can just go on any social media platform right now, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or what have you. And you can see that people are having this calling, right? They're having this calling that they want to make a difference. They're like, oh, I'm going to go be a coach because I'm really good at giving advice and it feels really good to me. And that's what I want to do. And it's great that someone has that calling. But for the most part, most of the people that you're seeing online just have a really great hobby, and they might be making some kind of difference in terms of lightening someone's day up or having them think about something as they're scrolling past social media. But they're not really in a position, most of them, where they're doing this in such a way that they're making a difference. And it's a business. And not only is it a business, it is a thriving business where, you can have your husband retire, your wife retire. You have a big, amazing, affluent, abundant business where you're thriving. You can take care of your family the way that you want to. And that is a big distinction between, having this idea of I want to go make a difference in the world, which is great. I love that. And what if you could do both, right?
That's the thing, is you have to channel that passion in the direction of other people's needs. And that's really the difference between a business and a hobby. A hobby exists to make you happy. And yeah, you might be posting on social media and you might find people that like your posts and read your posts and comment on your posts. And that little bit of validation feels good. That's why social media is so addictive. You get those little micro validations and you feel like it's thousands of people just kind of patting you on the back going, attaboy, that was a good post. And you're like, yeah, I'm cool. And we all do that, right? And that's the reason people go on social media. But ultimately, if you're talking about building a business, which is what this channel is about, you have got to take that passion and channel it in the direction of solving other people's problems. So that's the first thing that you have to do, guys. You have to be able to solve a major problem. So that means that you can help people. Usually that means in one of 4 areas: health, wealth, love, and personal development. Health, wealth, love, or personal development. Most of the offers that we see that are very successful, they fall into one of those 4 categories. So for health, maybe you're helping people get into the best shape of their lives. Maybe you're helping people overcome autoimmune disorders or, osteoporosis, or, you're helping people who are having problems going through menopause, or you're having helping people with any kind of hormone issues, but you've got some sort of health related offer, right? Now, when we talk about wealth, that could be investing. It could be business building. It could be marketing. It could be advertising. It could be copywriting. It could be web design, graphic design. It could be branding. It could be any of those things. When we talk about love, maybe you're helping people find the love of their life. Maybe you're helping people get married or fix a marriage that's not working. Maybe you're helping people recover after they went through a nasty divorce. And when we're talking about personal development, you're helping people evolve spiritually, grow and become a better person, overcome their fears, overcome their childhood traumas, things like that. So when we talk about solving a major problem, that's really where you should start looking, is what is there in your skill set, whatever that might be, that you can sort of aim at one of these problems and begin to solve it for people. That's really phase 1 where everything has to start.
I love what you said too, because, and this will probably lead us into our next point, is really solve the problem. Like, think about that for a minute. Like, really solve a problem, because a lot of people out there, whether it's from your social media posts or maybe some other kind of offering that you have, you really want to take a look at it and go, are you really solving a problem? And for the most part, us coaches have really good ideas, maybe have some really good insight, but to really solve someone's problem in such a way that that problem doesn't exist anymore. Like, they've transformed, they've broken through, and now they're living their life very, very differently. That is the key to being able to be wealthy and affluent as a coach, is your ability to do that. And, I always make this joke, is that most coaches are doing fake throughs. And they're doing fake throughs because what happens is they give them a piece of information, they'll give them a little tidbit, and in the moment that makes that person feel good, right? They feel good in that moment. They saw that and they go, oh, that feels pretty good. And it's a state change, right? For a minute, maybe for an hour, maybe for a couple of days, they're feeling better about something. But that doesn't always solve the problem. And so you have to position yourself. You have to position your coaching. You have to position your packaging, everything in such a way that you can actually solve a problem. You have to be able to solve the problem.
And what we're really talking about, guys, is the difference between information and transformation. So people talk about, when I remember, like, as we went into the year 2000 and all of a sudden it was the future and it's the 21st century. Everybody was talking about, it's the information economy. Everything is about information. Information is going to rule the world. Information is going to drive things. And in a certain way, that's true. But information has become more and more of a commodity. And it's really important that you understand that, because you can get information about fixing pretty much any problem in your life with just a simple Google search. Now, whether that information is high quality or not doesn't really matter. The point is, we're just drowning in information. It's everywhere. People wake up in the morning, they pick up their phone, they're looking at Facebook, they're consuming information. They're looking at Instagram, they're looking at everybody's stories. It's all just like low quality information. It might be entertaining, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And so information has become a commodity. But as information gets more and more and more and more prevalent, where it's just freaking everywhere, there's like no escape from it. You can't just be alone with your thoughts anymore. Is that just becomes more and more of an issue? Transformation becomes more and more rare and more valuable. So take a second and check in with yourselves. How many people do you know that really changed their life? I mean, think about that. How many people do you know that were like 100 pounds overweight and lost the weight and kept it off and changed their life? How many people do you know that were in a dead-end job that they hated and they actually had the courage to quit, and maybe they went out and started a business and changed their life? If you're like most people, it's like 2 or 3 people that you've ever met in your entire life that have really changed their life. Most people are just living the same year over and over and over again. You know, my dad used to say some people have 20 years of experience and other people have the same year 20 times. And that's way more common. It's way more common for people to just repeat the same mistakes. You know, you keep getting into that same bad relationship. You go on a diet, you lose the weight, you gain it right back. You know, you go to the gym for a while, you get in pretty good shape, you get off it, you get fat again. You know, it's like that's just the way people operate. So real transformation that lasts a lifetime is just exceedingly rare. But what that means is that just like diamonds are rare, if you could facilitate that kind of transformation for people, the fact that it's rare makes it incredibly valuable. Does that make sense? So when you're building your business, right, number one, you want to solve a major problem, but you also want to be specializing in actually solving that problem. Like Jane said, not just handing people a bunch of information and saying, here, you go figure this out, but working with people and coaching people and mentoring them and really leading them into the outcomes that they dream of. And that's really the way that I think about our company, Jane. It's like at the end of the day, that's what we do. High ticket, scalable, transformational coaching. We lead people into the outcomes that they dream of. And that is what we teach our clients to do as well, because that's the foundation for a multi-million-dollar business. You understand? So it all starts with being able to solve a major life or business challenge. So you should take a second right now and check in with yourself and look at your own skill sets. What problems can you actually solve? Or what expertise do you have that can really lead people into a great solution? Now, it's important to understand that your expertise, we're not talking about how to do that yet. We're going to get into that in just a second. But your expertise is like that raw, molten gold, right? And then we're going to show you how to pour that gold into a what do you call it? A frame or a mold, into a mold that actually is a business structure that creates transformation, right? But what you have to start with is that real expertise. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to be a quote unquote anointed expert. And it's really important that you understand that. A lot of people think, well, if I want to make money as a coach, or I want to make money as a mentor, or I want to start, create my own programs and workshops and whatever, I have to be certified, or I have to have a bunch of letters after my name. Or I have to be an anointed expert where I've been seen on CNN and NBC and everything else. Or I've been featured in Forbes and all these other like little meaningless credibility indicators that everybody seems to be chasing. You don't need any of that stuff. How do I know? Because I didn't have any of that stuff and I got an 8-figure business. And most of our clients didn't have any of that stuff and they're running multi-million-dollar businesses too. So you don't need anyone else to give you permission. You don't need anybody else to stamp their little seal of approval on your head and say you are worthy of doing this. You just have to check in with yourself and ask yourself that one simple clarifying question. Can you solve a major life or business challenge? Yes or no? And if you can, then we can show you how to turn that expertise into a business model that can give you everything you want in life. Make sense? So guys, look, the second piece then is once you've got that expertise and you know how to solve a major problem, you want to package your expertise into something that can give you income and freedom and impact. Income, freedom, and impact. So a lot of people, guys, just start businesses because they're like, oh, I'm inspired. You're inspired. You're a really good, I was thinking about that movie Bridesmaids, right? Like I love that movie, right? And in that movie, the movie starts out with Kristen Wiig's character. She's got this failed business. You don't actually see the business fail. When the movie starts, it's like she just shut down her business, right? And all it was a bakery, right? So she was really good at baking and she thought, well, I'm good at baking. Let me set up a bakery. Okay. She was inspired and kudos to her because she took the risk. I'm sure she took out a loan. She got the space, she got the equipment, she got the baking stuff, she got the ingredients, she did all the work, but she never really stopped to think about what do I truly want from this business? And what is the need that I'm meeting? And is there a true need in my community for this service, right? So instead of just being inspired and starting a business, which look, that takes guts, okay? Don't get me wrong. If you did that and you had the guts to do that, my hat's off to you. But a smarter way to do it is to get inspired and then to think about what you want your life to look like, and then set up your business that can create that for you. So you have to understand your business is like a machine. It's a machine that produces outcomes for you and outcomes for your customers. Okay. So what are the outcomes that you want this business to produce for you? Well, if you're like most people, you really want three things. You want income, you want freedom, and you want impact. Income, freedom, and impact. So when I say income, I mean that you can set an income goal. I want to hit 50K a month. I want to hit 100K a month. I want to hit $1 million a month. And it doesn't matter how aggressive that income goal is. This business model is something that can scale to produce that income outcome for you. That's what I mean by income. Freedom. You want the freedom to go where you want to go and do what you want to do. And it's really important that you don't disregard that or don't settle for a life without freedom, because you could be making $500,000 a year or $1 million a year. But if you're working 80-hour weeks and you're grinding yourself to the bone, why? Why? Right? You can always make more money. You can never make more time. So it's really important that you have a business that provides you with freedom. And then finally, the third one, impact. You want a business that's making a difference in the world, right? You want a business that's making people happy. You want a business that's changing the world one client at a time, one customer at a time, where you're making the world a better place. Every single time you transact business, the world gets a little bit better. That's what I mean by income. And the thing you have to understand, guys, is that in my opinion, those three things are not optional. You need all three of them: income, freedom, and impact. And the reason for that is that if there's any one of those missing, I promise you, you will eventually find a way to sabotage your business. You will subconsciously sabotage your business. You will say, this is great, but I'm not making any money. I've got freedom and I'm making a difference, but I'm not getting paid, right? This is those people that are giving free advice, or people that are saying, oh yeah, pay me whatever you want to pay me, right? Eventually you're going to shut that down because it becomes unsustainable, right? On the other hand, you got the people that are making a lot of money, but like I said, they have no freedom and they're just burning out. Eventually you're going to burn out. You're going to shut the whole thing down. Or if you're making the money and you have the freedom, but you're not making an impact, you're just going to feel unworthy. Everything could be great. You got the good house, you got the good cars. You're going to go to bed at night. You're going to stare at the ceiling and think, I'm not making a difference. So you really need to have all three of those. And so what I want to walk you through is a really simple way to deliver your expertise that can give you all three of those things, right? So this is the mold. You got your expertise. That's that solid molten gold. That's the good stuff. That's the raw materials. Now we're going to pour that in to this structure, this business model that can give you that income and that freedom and that impact. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, the big thing that I think really touches me in what you have to say is looking at all three of those areas. And I agree. I think that if you're not touching on all three of those areas, it just leaves you feeling bankrupt, either bankrupt in your finances or bankrupt in your soul, or bankrupt in that you're not the freedom piece, at least for me. And we started this show talking about the stage of life I'm in, having a 17-year-old, but that freedom to really make sure that you get to spend your time with the people that you love most. To me, that's ultimate freedom. That is ultimate freedom. And, we work a lot of hours. Don't get me wrong. And I love to work. That's the truth. I love to work, but I love to work because I know what I do makes a difference. And I love to work because I know at the end of the day, it feels good. I made that difference. I'm making a really great income in the business that we're doing. And I can also close that door and go spend some time with my family and be with my family. I love that I have that freedom that, I can work from my home office. It's spring break. I get to take my family and go to the beach. And if I want to work a little bit there, I can do that. So it's just without those things, I mean, honestly, Russ, I can't imagine a lifestyle at this stage in my life that didn't have that. Like, I can't even imagine, especially during these crazy times, right? Like it just would leave you bankrupt and burnt out if you didn't touch on all three of those.
Well, but the vast majority of people don't have that. They're working in an office. They're working 40-hour weeks. I remember, man, when I used to bartend at Cheesecake Factory, which is a very successful restaurant company, but working there is difficult. Okay, like they have a lot of success. It's I think it's actually the most successful restaurant chain in the United States. But I was like 22 and I was bartending at Cheesecake Factory. I always used to be blown away by the assistant managers, right? So the assistant managers, were literally working 60-hour weeks. And they were just burning themselves out. I don't know if this is just my restaurant or whatever, but they were working insane hours. And I think they were making like 24 grand a year. And they would come into work and they had like bags under their eyes and they were just like, what am I doing here? And, I think that's the normal reality for most people. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. If you're like, dude, all I want to do is manage a restaurant, I'm in, let's do it. And it truly makes you happy, then do that. But if it doesn't make you happy, then you should be thinking about another way. You should be thinking about something that is going to make you happy. Because here's the thing, guys, you don't get what you deserve in life. I wish you did, but you don't. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you settle for. And if you settle for a life without income and freedom and impact, or without all three, that's what you're going to get. So it's really important that you go into life with this belief that you can have it just the way you want it. Because I believe that you can. I believe people think there's all these trade-offs that you need to make in life. And you know what? You don't. There is a way forward if you can find it. And if you put your mind to it, I believe you can discover that way. And we're going to share the way that we found to create income, freedom, and impact. But if you don't want to do it that way, you can do it some way.
Yeah. And it's not just, someone working in a restaurant. The truth of the matter is there are coaches out there, many of you that might be listening right now, who do have some of those certifications. Maybe you went to college and then you started off on a career and you're in the corporate world and you go, oh, this isn't really for me. So you decided to be a coach and maybe you did some coach certification or, did NLP, did this, did that. And now you're like, I am ready. I am going to be a coach. And the challenge is most coaches are earning between $30 and $60 an hour. Now that ain't nothing, but it's really just not, one, it's not scalable, right? Working for an hour. And it's not really why you left your corporate job. Sure, you left your corporate job maybe because you wanted to have this freedom, but it's probably this toss up of like, now I have this freedom, but I don't feel yet, or I don't know how, or my mindset's stuck in a certain way that I can only charge someone, $60 to sit down and to work with them. And all of that being one-on-one. And so you're just like really maxed out, which means no freedom. It means no freedom because you're running your business where you have to be right in front of them, whether it's in person or on Zoom, but it's you one-on-one working with your clients. And yes, you're making that impact. But again, it's really, really limited and your income is limited. So you can be changing lives and to charge, $30 an hour or $30 for a half an hour session, and I know hundreds of coaches in my life, maybe even thousands. I've been training coaches for a very, very long time and worked for companies that hired coaches and directed them that are working for about $35, $50 a session. And like I said, it ain't nothing, but if we're talking about the impact that you create with someone, how about setting it up in such a way that you can create that income, but you also can provide for your family in a really abundant way? And that's really what you're meant for. I firmly believe that I am destined to live a loving, joyful, abundant life that makes an impact in the world. And my guess, if you've decided to be a coach, you have something very similar to that. Somewhere inside of you, you're like, I decided to be a coach because I wanted to make an impact. I decided to be a coach because I wanted that freedom. I decided to be a coach because I saw a possibility. And there's just this little disconnect between this idea that you can make an impact and you can do it in such a way that you can take care of your family and live a very, very abundant lifestyle. And honestly, Ross, I think that's the biggest switch that people need to make, is to understand that they can have both. I was talking to a friend the other day and she just hired this really amazing marriage counselor, like amazing. She's like, this person is like rocking my world. We are getting so much done. I feel like we're having all these breakthroughs. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And we're talking about it. And then I said, oh, so, and how much is she charging? It's he. How much is he charging? And she's like, oh my God, this is the best part. She's like, She's like, he's charging us $45 a session. And I thought to myself, like, she can't stop talking about him. And it's great that he's so amazing. And it's great that, but that's great. And you just know that if that's what you're charging and that's what you do full time, it's not in a way that, that they're really able to take care of the family, probably in the way that they want to be taking care of their family.
Let's dig into that, right? Let's just use this guy as an example because there's a lot of people that are in that situation. So what's sort of the I don't want to say the wrong way to do it, but like the not optimal way to do it, let's say, right? So this guy's charging $45 an hour. We'll call it $40 an hour just to make the math easy, right? So he's doing $40 an hour. If he's working 40 sessions a week, which he's probably not because that would be booked solid, no breaks. But let's just assume that he's booked 40 sessions a week, right? I can tell you right now, the guy's making $1,600 a week, right? And again, that's not nothing. That's a few grand a month if you do the math, but this guy's got to be burning himself out. Plus he's working with people one-on-one. Plus, so right there, you see, he doesn't have the income, right? Or when I say income, remember I said it's got to be something that can scale, right? He can't scale his income, period, because he's trading time for dollars and he's trading an hour of his time for $45. Okay, great. That's fine, but there's only so many hours in a week. So he has no leverage and no way to scale up his income, okay? Now let's take a look at freedom. He's working 40 hours a week. So he doesn't have a lot of time freedom. But the other thing you have to understand is he's working in an office, right? So he doesn't have location freedom either. If people are coming to see him face to face, that's it. If he's not in the office, in that chair with people on his couch or whatever, he's not making money. So he has no freedom. He can't go anywhere. He can't do anything. And if he does decide to take a break or go on vacation, you know what's interesting? That vacation is going to cost twice as much. Because you have to pay for the vacation, the hotel, the plane, whatever. But you also have to take into consideration the money you won't be making that week, right? Because if you don't have no passive income whatsoever, if you're not sitting there talking to patients, you're not making any money. Now, impact, he's making an impact, right? Because he's good, but that's the only thing, right? He doesn't have the other two pieces. And so what should he do instead? Well, what he should do instead is take his expertise and convert it into an online workshop. He should convert it into an online workshop. And he can deliver that program online. So it could be a 6-week online workshop, an 8-week online. Oh, hi, Roman. Oh, sorry, my son just came in.
Freedom, family freedom.
What's that?
Speaking of freedom.
Yeah, my sons have the freedom to just come in here whenever they want. Hi, buddy. So what he should do is take his program and convert it into an 8-week online workshop that is designed to save your marriage. Now, it's something that you can deliver for 8 weeks. You can put as many people through it as you want. And the way you structure that workshop is that every week of that workshop, they get one module of training. So the thing is, he's got a system for fixing marriages, right? And I'm sure he's having to teach that system over and over and over again to every new client. Like I guarantee you, this guy's having the same conversation for the first couple meetings. It's the same conversation every time someone comes in, right?
It's the same all the way through. Like I have to jump in on this piece because I did one-on-one for years. Like, for years as a coach, I traveled on the road. I went to big seminars and then I came home and I did one-on-one coaching sessions. I don't know, 15, 20 years, long time. And I can tell you after years of coaching, every single coaching session you are going over, and a portion of that coaching session is almost a little bit of teaching, right? You have to have a language to communicate from, right? So you have to, one, get them understanding a structure. You have to get them understanding certain distinctions. Without having a distinction, you can't break through and see something differently. And so if you're teaching those same fundamentals to everyone you're working with, and I'm telling you, I was teaching them to every single person I'm working with, you're just all day long doing the same thing. In those days, I was picking up the phone. It wasn't on Zoom, but I was like, pick up, talk a little, teach. Now I can coach because now we have a language, a technology, something that we can offer, we can work from and break through from. And so this is where, Russ, so many coaches get so hung up. Even when they come in our program, this is one of the things that we have to work with them on, because they have this idea that in order to get the results that they're accustomed to getting, it has to be one-on-one. And I am telling you, it is simply not the truth. what is so amazing is like what you said, if they can come in and get one lesson and they go into their life and they start working on that lesson, where people get stuck is in trying to do that. Where people get stuck is not understanding it. They get stuck in the implementation of that. They get stuck of their limited thinking. And that's why they need you. That's where your expertise comes in, is now you can operate on top of this new learning, this new distinction, and now you can help them break through. And so the amount of time that it took you to teach, have a coaching session took 1 hour. Now they can get on the phone with you, and in a matter of like 5 to 10 minutes, you can have the breakthrough that they need. And that is so important. And honestly, I might be jumping ahead here, but doing this on a group level also, to me, I feel like is more transformational, because when I have a group of 10, 20, we did a call the other day with like 200 people on it in our one of our masterminds. And I'm coaching from, like the front of the room, or when I'm coaching and interacting from someone.
The front of the Zoom.
And the front of the Zoom. The front of the Zoom. The front of the Zoom. And the whole group gets to stand on the shoulders of that one person that you're coaching with. And they get those breakthroughs. And I would have never thought that it could be that transformational if you said this to me 10 years ago, but it is. Like, it is unbelievable, because your clients that are a little bit shy or don't know the questions to ask or need a little bit more time, they get to move through things so much faster because they're seeing transformation. And all of a sudden, possibility is like all over the place. Mm-hmm. I am telling you, I am sold. I will never, ever, ever again do just a one-on-one program. There's value in some one-on-one interaction, but doing all your transformation just one-on-one, old school, don't do it.
That's amazing, because you guys have to understand how much coaching experience Jane has. How old were you when you got certified as a coach?
Well, the first time I did a personal development program and started doing training, quite honestly, I was 13 years old when I was certified in neurolinguistic programming.
Okay, so you're 13. You were 13. You're 25 now, and
yes,
so
48.
So guys, like, she's been doing this for a long time. Okay, and for her to say that the group model functions better in terms of getting better outcomes for the client, that's something that you need to really listen to. Obviously, it works better for you. Because if you can serve your clients in a group setting, now you've broken free. You're not trading time for dollars anymore like the dude sitting in his office. Now you've got this online program where the training part, you're giving them videos. Now you only have to create those videos once, and then you give it to them. And then maybe you do 1 or 2 group Q&A calls a week with all your clients together on Zoom. Now think about how much more leverage that's going to give you. Number 1, like I said, you're not trading time for dollars anymore. Number 2, you're not stuck in a location, because you could deliver this whole program with nothing but a laptop and an internet connection. And that means you can work from anywhere in the world. The Clients on Demand, we have like 33 people on the team now, I think. 33, 34, something like that. And everyone works remote. People work from home. We got people who are traveling. We got people that are like doing the digital nomad thing and just bouncing around. It doesn't matter. So now you've got the freedom piece. And like Jane said, you're making a bigger impact than you were before. So that brings us to the third piece, which is, once you've got this container, once you've got this group workshop that gives you freedom and gives your clients impact, how do you create income from that? Well, these group workshops are something that you can charge $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 for. Believe it. That's what we get our clients doing, even if they've never charged that much before. And this is something you really need to think about. So over the past few years, we did a huge survey of people in the coaching industry. We ended up surveying around 22,000 people. And here's what we found out. Only 24% of coaches, right, are making more than $5,000 a month. I really want you to think about that. 76% of coaches are making less than $5,000 a month. And only 12% are making more than $10,000 a month. Now, if you're like me and you see the same ads that I see, that should blow your mind, right? Because if I'm looking at the ads I see in my newsfeed, everybody's got a Ferrari, everybody's got a Lamborghini, everybody's balling, everybody's living in some mansion. Guys, it's not true. And the coaching industry is growing. It's a booming industry, right? The coaching industry is booming. Most coaches are really, really struggling. And it's because they don't have the leverage, they don't have freedom, they're not making an impact, they're not selling transformation, but above all, they're massively undercharging. So think about this, guys. You've got an online group workshop, and I want you to imagine what this would really be like for you. You got this online group workshop. It creates amazing results for your clients. It only takes you a few hours a week to deliver. And it's something that you can sell for, like, let's say 5,000, right? Let's say you start out at 5,000. We'll get you raising your price after that. But let's say you start out at 5,000. Now, guys, you get 10 clients a week or 10 clients a month into that program. You're making $50,000 a month, right? You're making 10 times more than like 90% of coaches. You're making $50,000 a month. That's $600,000 a year. And you want to get 20 clients a month. Now you're making $100,000 a month. So guys, if you've watched any of the case studies and videos and interviews that we've done with our clients, you know, our clients are pulling some really big numbers. I think our client Karen is doing $600,000 a month right now in her business, right? And that number sounds insane, right? If I was sitting where you were sitting and I was just starting out going like, oh, what's this online stuff or whatever, that number would be insane. The idea of making $10,000 in a month might sound insane to you, right? But $600,000 in a month, that's really nuts. But if you break it down, she's probably got, I think her offer's 10K and I think she's getting 60 clients a month. Right? Well, it's 2 clients a day into her online group program. So those big numbers, they sound huge, but when you break it down, she's only working with like 60 people a month, right? That's not that many. You understand? So you can build an amazing business like this that gives you the income and the freedom and the impact while you solve other people's problems and make the world a better place, one client at a time. Now, to me, that is like the ultimate dream business. You know, Jane, I was talking to my friend and he actually just sold his coaching company for like an insane amount of money, for like $60 million or something like that. And I was like, wow. And I was like, what are you going to do now? He said, well, I'm going to start another coaching company.
Of course he is.
I was like, of course you are. Because why would you stop doing this? Because it checks all the boxes. You know, if it's giving you the money and it's giving you the freedom and you're making the world a better place, man, it gets addictive. You know, like Jane said, like we love what we do. We show up, we do the work. We love working with the clients. And I was thinking about it, man, even if I sold a company tomorrow and I made even if you just handed me $1 billion, I couldn't stop doing this because we're not just doing it for the money anymore. We're doing it because it's awesome. And that's what we want for you guys. So if you've got the expertise and you've got the juice and you can really solve a major life or business challenge, then you need to talk to us about how we can help you plug into this kind of a system so that you can create income and freedom and impact. And if that's what you want, then I want you to go to clientsondemand.com/talk. That's clientsondemand.com/talk. That's going to pull up our calendar page. It's going to show you all the available appointment times we have in the next few days. Pick an appointment time that works for you and book a call to talk to us. We'll get on the call together for about 45 minutes and we can look at everything you're doing. Are you getting the income you want? And if not, why not? Are you making the impact you want? And if not, why not? Do you have freedom in your business? If not, why not? And we can put our heads together and come up with a perfect step-by-step game plan to get you all 3 of those things: the income, the freedom, and the impact. There's no charge for that call. We do it as a totally free service. And our goal on that call is not to sell you anything. The goal on the call is just to get you clear on the possibility and what your business could be. And just to invite you to, do you want to actually create that? Or do you want it to just be something that you dream of? And if you want our help to help you create it, cool, we can talk about that. But if not, that's okay too. We are just here to serve you because nothing bothers us more than like the situation we were just talking about, where you got someone that's like an amazing coach. They could be changing people's lives, but his impact is so limited because he can only work with a few people at a time. That doesn't make any sense. This guy should be advertising all over the world. He should be enrolling clients from the UK, from Canada, from Australia, from New Zealand, helping people everywhere, you know, getting paid $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 for his work. He should have freedom. He should be making a bigger impact, all those things. So if that's what you want, go to clientsondemand.com/talk and let us help you create that.
Yeah. Listen, coaches out there, I want you to know, I see you. You know, I know your heart is in it. Like I said, I've worked with I've trained so many coaches. I know who you are. I know that you got into this kind of industry, this kind of business because you have a big heart. You want to see people succeed. You want to see people have breakthroughs, whether that's in, like Russ was saying, in someone in your marriage or in health, or you want to help someone be more strategic in their business. You're doing this because you find joy. You find joy from seeing someone else succeed. And here's the thing, we want you to have that too. And I'm just really extending this invitation to step into possibility for a minute and let go of some of those old paradigms, some of that old thinking that it has to be one-on-one, or in order to be a good person, you have to struggle. In order to change someone's life, it's got to be hard, and you know, and you can't make money at it because, you know, that might not make you a good person. Whatever the thing is that's standing in your way, this is my invitation. This is my calling to you of saying no more. Stand up and say, I can make a difference. I can have that freedom, I can have that impact, and I can have that income because you deserve it. And it's right there for you to take that step. So click that link, get on our calendar, and let one of our team members take really good care of you.
Absolutely, guys. JJ, thanks so much for your wisdom and your insight. Love doing this with you. And we will catch you guys on the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you guys want to subscribe, there's a little picture of me. You can click that button right over there. If you want to book a breakthrough session with our team, which you absolutely should do, then you can click that button there or go to clientsondemand.com/talk to book an appointment to speak to us. We'll go ahead and catch you on the next show. Bye-bye.